Welcome back. Let me tell you something interesting. Wandroid number 4, the remake, is now playable in English. So, for those of you who have been following my series on how to play Wandroid number 4, bear with me. I'm going to switch to be playing this game. And I'm not as far along in this app as I was in the classic, so I'm going to have to play a little bit longer before I can start posting the next video. But I wanted to show off new features of the game. You can obviously see one of them. You can use custom pictures in your characters. The game does come with 8 predefined characters. Let me show them to you real quick. Inspect. A lot of the menus have not changed. Okay, so these are the first 8 characters that come with the game. They're not named this. I changed the names on purpose. But the predefined characters have a different font face for their names than the characters that you could create. Also, there's an auto-create feature that allows you to create a character based on simply race and class. And it will create a whole character for you. I think it also asks for gender, too, and alignment. But that's it. It just auto-creates at a level 5 character. So interestingly, if you are starting out with new characters at level 1, you can auto-create a character at level 5 and start with a little bit of an advantage. But also remember, auto-created characters will not have as good a stats as you could come up with yourself. The features are the same as in the classic game. Hit cancel until you get good numbers, and then you can assign good characteristics to your character, and they'll be more badass. Another feature, as you can see, is that you can have pictures for your characters. And let me go and show you how to do that. It is in the training grounds. There is character image, and then there is reset face image. Reset face image just basically deletes the file that you've selected for your character. Character image takes you to your gallery, and I hope it works this time. It is a somewhat buggy feature. Sometimes the app will just crash instead of selecting the picture. I've found most of the time that it just takes doing it several times over before it'll actually do it. You just have to keep trying. I was just here. But I want to go ahead and show it to you working, so you won't think that I'm just blowing smoke up your ass about this feature. It does take several times sometimes, and eventually it'll just do it. Training grounds, character image. I'm doing this for a character who otherwise already doesn't have a picture. As you can see here, it's just a key. But I do just want to show it to you functioning. There. Okay, set the image. And now when we go to inspect, yes, he has the handicap image now. So yes, so you see, it works. You just have to keep trying. Here is the auto-create character feature. There is a limited set of characters that it can create. You have to figure out how to create a ranger. Things like ninjas and lords, you have to... I don't think you can create them from scratch if I remember. I think you have to change class to them. But you can create yourself a character. And there's also a limited number of races you can auto-create with. I think the number of races you can manually create with are... Let me see what we have. Nope, it's the same number of limited races. But the auto-create feature... Let's create another Sate. No, let's create a Valkyrie. Make it a human. And there, see? It just automatically creates it. Doesn't ask you a whole lot about it. And it just names it new whatever. If you've done more than one, it'll probably say new class 2 and whatever. I don't know. I haven't done that many. But you see it's created as a level 5 character. And it comes with no picture, so you can create a picture. I have a blog entry where I've put a bunch of these pictures in the blog entry. The pictures have to be 48 by 48 pixels, or smaller probably. But I've had one or two that doesn't quite work at 48 by 48. So I just remade it a little bit, resized it a little bit smaller. In my other video where I showed off this feature, I showed how to do it in MS Paint. But if you want to just download the images that I'm using, you can just go to the blog entry. The link is in the description below. Here, let me move down here so I can see where below is. I don't know if in a short of this size. But anyway, so that's that feature. There's also in Gilgamesh's Tavern, there's a feature called Party Set. You can save the lineup of a character set of a party that you have, and then you can go and disassemble that party, make another party, and go running off into the dungeon with it, come back, and decide you wanted to play your first party. Then you go into Party Set, and you just simply call up that set. And poof, the party will be replaced with that set of people, and in that lineup. There are up to 8 spots where you can save character sets, and they do show Japanese characters, but there are Arabic numbers after it, so the translation is not complete yet, but at least it's in a good state. And of course it shows for the currently selected character set who's in it and what order they're in, right here in the bottom half of the window. So you can figure out, see these are all empty, but I have 2 character sets defined. Let me switch to that one. Okay. Call the set. That's the one I'm playing right now. And we will call this set Disband. Oh, I accidentally saved it as both. I'll have to redefine the other one. You have to be careful with that, I guess. Anyway, another interesting change I noticed is that sages can now identify loot from the dungeon from level 1 instead of waiting until level 5. So do yourself a favor, create a sage right off. It will pay off handsomely because, as I always said, Voltax charges as much to identify mysterious loot from the dungeon as it pays you to buy it from you. So you end up zero sum. No profit. You get a bishop or a sage to identify your stuff for free, and then you can sell it to Voltax for a profit and actually make money off of loot. Let me show you the dungeon briefly because I don't want this video to be too long. This is one of the things that I was talking about in the first video. There's little changes in the dungeon. It's not that much different, but I keep doing that. Right here is a door. In the original Wandroid 4, there was no door here. But this is basically what it looks like. Brown wooden walls, brown floor. Note the unfortunate feature. It looks like you're walking along the floor instead of up near the ceiling where your head would be. That's just a strange feature of the vanishing point at the center of the screen feature. I'm not sure if you could do anything to fix it, but that's just the way that works. When you are facing monsters that you've faced before or that you've identified, it shows this wonderful little window at the bottom when you're fighting the monsters to show you what experience they give you, their hit point level, their armor class, how much they can damage you, what kind of race they are, and what material you get from them. So that's an interesting new feature, that after you've identified a monster, it'll tell you about them. But this is what the new environment is going to look like. So probably not going to do much editing on this because it's going to be me basically just trying to explain things. But yeah, so I have to play some more to let's kill the troll. Okay. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to be doing